Welcome to Beyond the Games, your daily insight into Guernsey 2023. Proudly sponsored by SG Kleinwort Hambros Bank Limited, Guernsey branch and Jersey branch.
A year ago, Amy Critchlow was lying on the road with a broken collarbone. Now she is back to full fitness and will be part of the Guernsey women's triathlon team fighting for the top spots. She reflects on her triathlon journey in the last decade and what we can expect from the sport this year. I think it'd be really nice just to open up with a little bit of your background in the sport of tri, and take us right back to when you first got into triathlon.
I got into triathlon when I moved back to Guernsey. I was away for about 15 years doing the whole university thing, travelling, worked in New Zealand for ages, and got back to Guernsey. My sister was here and we just started getting into cycling, and we did the Sarah Groves ride, the first one, the Guernsey to Paris ride, and I got into road cycling. Never done that before, and then the following year, I can't remember what my thought process was, but I decided that I might like to try triathlon, and triathlon was happening on Guernsey. I'd never really kind of seen it before, obviously hadn't taken part before, never watched it before. But I quite fancied giving it a go because what I used to love doing was swimming, surfing. I did quite a bit of mountain biking when I lived in Wales. Hadn't really done much running before, but I just thought, I can do the swimming and the biking bit. Got into road cycling, so I thought I'd give it a go. I think it was in 2014. Had a go at the Guernsey Novice, which in those days was up at Beausejour. So that was the pool swim and the sort of short super sprint triathlon, and kind of snowballed from there. I did a couple of the club events following that Novice, and at the Portlet Triathlon, I think that was just a short try. It's probably like my second or third triathlon. The sort of club said, do you fancy doing the Jersey Island Games in 2015, so the following year? And I was like, oh, yeah, why not,
Of course.
What could possibly go wrong?
Perfect.
Yeah. So I think they were looking for more women to do triathlon. I think when I started, there had been other female triathletes like Sam Herridge and Gail King, but sort of when I started, it was really myself and Magda Murphy doing it. So I think they were a bit short on women, and they sort of saw me and dragged me into it. And from then, I haven't really looked back. Really, I just sort of got more and more into it. Competed in, this is my 4th Island Games coming up, competed in age group triathlon for the Great British age group triathlon team. Just really loved it, just really got into it.
What do you think the draw is? What's...
Yeah, that's a question that we get asked quite a lot. I just think because you've got the 3 disciplines, there's so much variety in it, and they're all quite technical, so you learn sort of new technique. You're always trying to refine that. And I think just, especially, it's probably true in other places, but in Guernsey, it's not just pool swim training. You get to go out open water swimming. You get to discover different places to swim. Really lovely groups of people to do it with. The cycling, you go for your nice long weekend rides, cafe stops, cake stops and things like that. But it is a challenging sport. It's putting all those 3 sports together. You just kind of get into seeing what you can do. What's the next stage? Can I get faster in this? Can I get better in that technique? The cycling, or one year you're really kind of excelling in the swimming side and need to work on the bike. There's just so much to kind of get to grips with and get stuck into, and it just takes you can go, you can almost make your own triathlon, make it your own, because there's so many different events to get to. You can do aquabike, you can do duathlons. It doesn't have to be swim, bike, run all the time. You can kind of mix it up quite a lot as well.
And I was going to say, I guess like your journey shows as well, like how welcoming the triathlon club and community can be, but also where those stepping stones can take you as well.
Yeah, definitely. you can, you really start at kind of grassroots and get into the really fun, friendly events on island and lots of other events as well, kind of off island, have that kind of vibe. But then part of me really does love competing as well. I've got that kind of drive to do my best and to be as fast as I can, which is not everyone's cup of tea, and it's not what you have to do when you do triathlon. You set your own challenges, but I do love the competition side of it as well. I say this, but then I do get nervous about it. But yeah, that buzz of having a really good race with other great athletes and that kind of those atmospheres, you cross the line and sort of have a moment of never again, but then you come away on a high and want to do more.
That Jersey Games as well. How did it feel on the start line? Could you comprehend how far you'd come already as well?
I suppose, I mean, I didn't really have any expectations, I suppose, when I was on that start line for Jersey 2015. I just really enjoyed being part of Team Guernsey. That was such a proud moment. Didn't really kind of know I was going to kind of carry on, or it was just right. Okay, I'm in this amazing atmosphere with my team. I do my best. Don't really know, what's gonna happen in the race. And I think I was 10th. I think I got a top 10, and I was absolutely delighted with that. I was like, wow, that was good. I didn't, I swam, I biked, and I ran as best as I could, and nothing really went wrong, and I had a great time. And I loved it.
And what's been your highlight so far as well, from triathlon point of view?
Ooh, gosh, there's so many. I think sort of my best year racing wise was before lockdown. So 2019, I had a really good year. So I went to Rotterdam for the World Age Group Triathlon. So I qualified for that. Got a top 10, I think, in that race. And I competed in the British Championship as well. That was in Leeds, and I won my age group there. So I was British champion for my age group. Those were really great results, and I was really proud of those. But other than that, not even necessarily the competition side of it. Just going away to these different races. I've been to Cozumel in Mexico, raced there for the World Age Group Champs there as well. Just that was incredible. The swimming, I loved the swimming. It was a non-wetsuit, almost just forgetting I was in a race and just swimming in this clear water, looking at the fish. And even just sort of, traveling with friends. We're going off to the UK just to do, longer distance races. Just the variety of it all, just different sort of, lengths of racing, going to different places, traveling with your friends. It's just been such a great few years. I think, if I started in 2014, coming up to doing it for 10 years, and I've got so many great memories of racing and training away, going away to train with friends as well. The sort of racing's the cherry on the top, I suppose, isn't it? It's the training that comes along with it. Yeah.
And over that time, I guess you've seen the growth in women's triathlon as well in Guernsey. And could you take us through a little bit about how that's gone and what we can expect from the team this time around as well?
From the Guernsey team?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a strong team this time. The Guernsey women's team's kind of evolved really from Magda and myself. It was a 2-women team. We're always trying to build to get that even split of men and women in our Guernsey team. We're sort of almost there. Scotland, we had 3. Gibraltar, we had 4 women. And this year, our Guernsey team, again, we've got 4 women, and hopefully kind of the next games we might be looking at 5. It's a really, really good team, split really of sort of more experienced athletes. We've done a couple of, Emily and I've done 4, this is my 4th games, Emily's 2nd. Actually, Megan's done 1 as well. She did Gibraltar, and she's really excelling at the moment in her racing. And not to put any pressure on her, but there are expectations on Megan. And again, Chloe as well is really, really it's been amazing watching her career so far. She did the novice a couple of years ago, or even, it wasn't last year, I think it was the year before. And she's just kind of, come on really well, really got stuck into racing. She's been away, done a few races away, and in Ibiza she did the Europeans there as well. So she's really getting stuck in. She's coming on leaps and bounds. Quite, she's, again, no pressure, Chloe, but so yeah, really great team. So hoping again for we got the team Guernsey, we got the gold women's team medal. Gibraltar, I'd love to be able to retain that. That'd be awesome. Really, really good result to especially get it in Guernsey.
And I guess that it's a nice aspect of the games that you do have that team side of it, and what normally is such an individual sport as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've all got our own hopes and sort of where we want to get to in the individual side of the sport. I've frustratingly had a 5th in Gotland and a 4th in Gibraltar. 4th is a terrible result. No, it's not. It's and for me, I'd love to get a podium spot, but there's not really enough places on a podium. I don't think there should be more than 3. But I think probably this games is probably one of the most competitive, and I'm a bit older now as well, so we've had that kind of gap between Gibraltar and 2019. But you never know. It's on the day. It's kind of anyone's really. It's you put your training in, you do the best you can. You don't know what the conditions are going to be like. We're all, I quite like a choppy swim. You can't compare races. Gibraltar was really, really hot, really, really hilly. But just by looking at other teams, we recognise some names. The Gibraltar gold medalist in the women is coming to Guernsey, so bit of pressure there for Meg. But we don't. There's a lot of names we don't recognise, and the Jersey team is quite different again this year. We haven't raced with some of those women, so yeah. Could be anyone's at the end of the day, but definitely the team side of it, getting a team gold would be awesome, and that's kind of on the day that's what I'll be thinking about. I think even if my own individual race isn't going to get me on the podium, then you're still thinking about that team gold, because it's obviously based on your team positions. So we need to get as many good positions as we can get. To get that team gold. So yeah, it's a really nice aspect to the games.
And we've got I'm thinking about the start of the games now. So we've got quite a spectacular course that's going to be on offer down there. Could you just take us a little bit through what we can expect?
In the individual race, yes. So we're down based at Rockane. So really kind of beautiful location. Got the cup and saucer. It's a really lovely coastal setting. So the swim is going to be a 2-lap swim in Rockane Bay with an Australian exit, which means you swim 1 lap. You have to exit the water, run round a cone, and get back in again to do your 2nd lap. And then into transition, which is based at the Rockane car parking area. It will be a 3-lap bike course which takes you along the coast towards Liu. You do a small little Liu headland loop before heading up Lorray, along that long drag up to the Mallard, and then back along the top towards the Plymouth Hill, and down the Plymouth Hill back to Rockane again. So that's 3 laps, 13 point something K, 40 kilometre bike course in total. So yeah, Lorray Hill 3 times is going to be quite a drag, but it's not as hilly as Gibraltar. And then the run, again, it's a 3-lap run. That's going to be great for spectators because it's going to take the runners through transition area 3 times. Nice flat run, so it's going to be out towards the Coudray, bottom of the Coudray, dead turn there, and then back through along the coast past transition again, and then out towards the fairy rings. There'll be a another dead turn point before the fairy rings. 3 laps of that. So that would be great for spectator viewing, I think, that part of it. Obviously, the bike, they'll see the bike leg 3 times as well, people cycling past transition 3 times as well. So it will be a really good spectator viewing. Obviously, great view of the swim just over the wall. Should be really good atmosphere.
And just kind of all action as well, isn't it?
All action.
Should be really good.
I mean, even watching the transition side of things as well is always quite a good watch. People scrambling out their wetsuits, jumping on their bikes and all that kind of stuff. That's always good fun to watch as well.
And the first time we've seen closed road racing in Guernsey as well.
Yeah. So the team are working so hard to put on an amazing event. I know the team are working towards. They want a standard of event that you see in World Triathlon, international racing, and that's going to be through what the route is, how it's set up. We've got how it's officiated. It's all really top level organising. So the road closure, that takes a lot of work, a lot of cooperation with the community as well. But for the athletes, it's going to be such a great, privilege really to race on a closed road. It's more exciting racing. So that's going to be amazing.
And then talking about amazing, we get to the other end of the week. First time we see a relay competition in the games.
Yeah, it is, and it's the first time the Tri team don't get their event done on the first day and then can enjoy the rest of the games week. We've got a race again on the Friday. So again, kudos to the organisers putting the mixed team relay event on for the very first time in games history. This is going to be a real spectator viewing, showdown. It's the last event, I think, of the games. It's in town, really, really short, fast race course to watch. So it should be a really, really exciting race for people to come down to watch on the last day of the games.
Can take us through a little bit about what that course entails as well. Sounds great.
Yeah. So it's based on Albert Pier. So transition and athlete handover is going to be on Albert Pier. The swim, it's going to be a run down the cruise ship pontoon to the end of the pontoon where athletes will enter the water by dive or, if you're not a fan of diving, just jumping in. And it's going to be a short swim out to a bobber just beyond the fish quay out towards the pier heads. The whole swim is only 400 metres, so it's very short. So once they've turned around that buoy, they're then going to be swimming in towards Albert Marina over the sill. So we should get the tide's rising, so we should get a little push over the sill there into the marina. A short sort of course in the marina and then up the slipway back into the transition area on the pier. Then on the bike, we're sharing the bike route that the cycling crit races on. So it's a 1.5 kilometre circuit, which we'll be doing 4 laps of, so 6k bike. So very, tight turns, fast route. It goes behind the tourist building, so on the North Plantation there, turn there, back along the front, and then another turn around the back of the slaughterhouse. That's going to be a very technical course, very, very good fun to watch. And the run is a very quick 1.5 kilometre, 2-lap course up towards Crown Pier. The run actually goes onto the Crown Pier, turns up there, comes back into transition and then laps around and so 2-lap there to finish on Albert Pier. Fast and furious.
It's going to be amazing, and I've seen these events on TV, and it's such a spectacle. It is.
I think there's there's a bit of a competition around who can do the best dive into the water. It won't be me. It can be really exciting, and hopefully if we get good weather, good crowds down there, I think we'll get a big viewing screen as well, so people can watch it, what's going on, the action on there. It should be really, really good, and we'd just love to have this, the first time this mixed relay's been on, for it to be a really, really big success, and hopefully, it will continue in games to follow.
We're really looking forward to it. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah, can't wait. It should be a lot of fun. I think, I don't know if other members of the team are the same, but I'm really, just really focusing a lot on the individual event, get that done, and then we can have, it's going to be a really competitive event on Friday, but hopefully a lot of fun as well. So get the individual done, and then look forward to some fun at the end of the week.
And what a great opportunity to showcase the sport and hopefully inspire people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
that step.
That's what we'd love, the sort of legacy of it all, to show people how, what a great sport it is. It's a lot of fun. Just really trying to inspire people. We've got, obviously the spectators down there, but we've got over 100 marshals helping us put on this event, and we'd love to inspire them as well to give it a go, because they're going to have, first-hand, viewing of the swim, bike, run. So we'd love to get people inspired to give it a go this year. There's opportunities for people to do triathlon this year, after the games, through the club, through Try, putting on novice events. Really anybody can give it a go, for sure.
Race day is going to be, obviously important, like from a competition point of view, but like if you can take us back a year ago, and where you were at that point.
So I was thinking about this the other day, and it sort of dawned on me that the individual triathlon race on the Sunday, the 9th of July, is actually a year to the day that I broke my collarbone. So going back a year, I was lying in the road with a broken collarbone, come off my bike. It was all big drama. So it's quite nice that I can say that I'm racing, hopefully back on form again, a year to the day of breaking my collarbone.
And I guess when that happened, you'd have had the games on your mind anyway.
Oh yeah, it was before the qualifier. So it was one of my last training sessions prior to Island Games qualification 2023. For me it was like a disaster. I'd prepared for that qualifier, had some really good training, and it was just a silly freak accident, really. So that was a real downer at that point, and sort of, waiting for the ambulance, sort of thinking I've really messed that up. I'm not going to be able to race at the games. I won't be able to do the qualifier. This is a real. Yeah, it wasn't a good moment. wasn't the best outcome for a training session. But luckily, I was able to talk to the club and the board and put my case to them that I will, recover from this injury, and I kind of made a promise that I'll train as hard as I can if they sort of awarded me a place on the team. Which they thankfully did. So I got myself, I had a good 2 months not doing anything at all, just waiting for the bone to heal.
That's got to be tough as well when you're late.
It was in the middle of the summer, and a great summer last year, wasn't it? It was brilliant. Everyone else getting stuck into training, racing, just having fun in the summer, and I literally just had to, be there in my sling, watching everything take place. But it could have been worse. I didn't have to have surgery or anything like that. It was just being patient, waiting it out, letting it heal, and then slowly getting back into training again. I remember my first swim back in the pool, and it's just getting that confidence to be able to get that movement again and swimming front. And I remember that first session, I think I did, I don't know, maybe 400 meters and got out, and that was the session. I was absolutely thrilled with just to get back in the water. It felt so nice, and I was like, right, okay, my arm feels all right. It didn't fall off or anything. And then just built up. And it feels actually, funnily enough, it actually feels one of the strongest parts of my body now. So I've got other little niggles from training, but actually my collarbone and my shoulder is absolutely fine, and I'm probably swimming as good as I ever have, in tri training. So yeah, it's been really really great to feel that strength coming back in it, and being able to race again this year. And it just so happens that the race is that year to the day.
Beyond the Games, proudly sponsored by SG Kleinwort Hambros Bank Limited, Guernsey branch and Jersey branch.